So, students of class 7, a new lesson, the second one of your syllabus, the scholarship jacket. Now, here, before we move on to the lesson, something is discussed. Have you ever experienced the disappointment of being deprived of recognition or an award which you felt you deserved and which was given to someone else, who, in your opinion, was less deserving of it? No. Did you experience something like this? That a competition was there and you deserved the recognition and the award, but someone else got it who, according to you, did not deserve it? Now, share your experience with the class. Describe what happened, why you think this happened, how you felt at the time, and how you dealt with the situation. Now, this is what you are asked to discuss with your classmates. Now, the following story is about a brilliant student who learned from her wise grandfather how important it is to stand by your principles and that rewards are truly meaningful when they are earned through hard work and not bought with money. So, we have to stick to our principles that this uh, person, the character, the main character of this lesson, learns from her grandfather. And she learned what? That rewards are meaningful only when they are earned through hard work and not bought with money. So the small Texas school that I went to had a tradition implemented yearly during the 8th grade graduation. A beautiful gold and green jacket. The school colors was awarded to the class valedictorian. So here the color is mentioned, gold and green, and that is the color, that is the school color, and of that color, that the jacket which was given to the class valedictorian who leaves that class and promoted to the next class, they are given this jacket as a reward. The student who had maintained the highest grades for 8 years, so after 8 years of successful maintenance of the highest grades in academics, for that this award was given. So as the student who had maintained the highest grades for 8 years, the scholarship jacket had a big and to them this jacket was given. The scholarship jacket had a big gold S on the left front side and your name written in gold letters on the pocket. In the pocket, the name of the student who achieves it is written in gold letters and S is written there. So my oldest sister Rosie had won the jacket a few years back. Now their family has a tradition. Her oldest sister Rosie, her name, she won the jacket few years back, and I fully expected too also, and she also expected the same jacket this time. Now what happens to her, let us see, and that we will come to know in the next slide. Let us move on to that. So I was 14 and in the 8th grade. I had been a student since the first grade, and this last year had looked forward very much to owning that jacket, and that means she was expecting that jacket to have. My father was a farm laborer who couldn't earn enough money to feed 8 children. Now they had a problem. Her father was a farm laborer and he could not afford to feed 8 children. So when I was 6, So when she was 6, I was given to my grandparents to raise, to actually bring her up. The responsibility was given to grandparents. We couldn't participate in sports at school because there were registration fees. So in the games, sports, she could not participate because they had to pay registration fee there, uniform costs, and the trips out of town, and they could not go to other parts of the town. For all those things, they had to pay registration fees. So they could not afford to pay that, and so they did not participate in the sports. So even though our family was quite agile and athletic there, there would never be a school sports jacket for us. And they were, it is not that they were very lazy, they were agile and athletic, and they could not. So even though our family was quite agile and athletic there, they were bodily fit to participate in the sports. They could not win sports jacket. This one, the scholarship jacket, was our only chance. So they had the only chance in the scholarship jacket, which was in the academic section. So she had to maintain a very good highest grade in there to get that scholarship jacket, and she tried really hard to achieve it. So let us see what happens next in the next slide. So here it is. In May, close to graduation, spring fever had struck as usual with a vengeance. So spring fever, springtime, the people have that fever. That fever uh, struck them as usual with a vengeance, with a mood of actually taking revenge. No one paid any attention in class. Instead, we stared out the windows and at each other, wanting to speed up the last few weeks of school. I despaired every time I looked into the mirror. Pencil thin, not a curve anywhere. I was called beanpole and string bean, and I knew that's what I looked like: a flat chest, no hips, and a brain. That's what I had. Now, here you are getting some reference to her physical appearance. She was very thin, flat bosom she had, and she had no hips, and a brain she had, and that was all that she had. That really, they were actually worried about that spring fever, and that had struck that time with vengeance, and they were not paying any attention in the class, and they stared out the windows and each other, wanting to speed up the last few weeks of school. They wanted the last few weeks of the school to go in a hurry, and her physical appearance is mentioned here. That really wasn't much for a 14-year-old to work with. No, she could not work with that kind of physique. I thought, as I absent-mindedly wandered from my history class to the gym. Now, this is what she was thinking when she was moving from history class to the gym. Another hour of sweating in basketball and displaying my toothpick legs was coming up. Then I remembered my PE shorts wear. Now something will be told by her about her physical education shorts and her basketball practice, than doing exercise in the gym. So she thought all about all these things, and she thought about displaying her toothpick-like legs, and that will be displayed during those exercises, or the basketball match, or the gym. So this is it. She tells something about her on appearance physique here. So this much we have come to know from this presentation. Come up with new things in the next presentation. Till that time, bye. Thank you.